Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, my name is Shane and I am the owner of Velda Bakery. And in this video I will be sharing with you how I got started with macaroons and a little bit about myself. So let's get started with who I am. As many of you know who I am already, I am the owner of Velda Bakery. My name is Shane. Now I am currently 35. I will be 36 in December. So yes, I am getting up there, but again, age is just, a number. I actually stopped counting. After I turned 30. And there are some times when people ask me, how old are you? I'm like, let me go and do the math first. So if you don't remember your age, I don't blame you because I do the same thing too. And I actually have 3 kids. I started having kids at a very young age. So I have my first daughter when I was 17. And I have my second child, which is another girl, my third child, which is a boy. And I became a single mom when I was 22, 23 at that time. I only have my 2 girls with me and my son is with his dad. And honestly, it was really hard for me. I was a very young mom, have no education. I was only making about $13 to $14 an hour at that time. So imagine how hard it is. I have, rent to pay, I have car insurance, phone, I have to provide food for the girls, and of course, every little other things that I need and my girls need. So it has been really hard. It was really hard. I remember there were weeks where I only have $20 to buy food, so it's enough for me and my girls for 2 weeks. And imagine how hard that is. Three people living on $20 for 2 weeks on food. That was really hard, but I'm glad those days are gone and over with, and we are doing so much better right now. So I'm so glad that, because of all those hardship, it driven me to be who I am today. So that's just a little bit of history about me and a little bit of struggles that I have gone through to be where I am today. And then with macaroons, I actually came across macaroons in my late 20s. My late 20s or somewhere around there. So when I came across it, I ate macaroons for the first time and I was like, oh my God, it's so good. What is this? And then I started doing more research about it. And at that time when I first had my first macaroons, I bought it for about $3 each, and it was so small, and I was like, oh my gosh, these little things are $3 each. They are really good, no doubt, but $3 each, like, if I really want to eat it, that's really expensive. Maybe I should try to bake. And here's the thing. When I start baking macaroons and when I start doing a lot of research about French macaroons, I have no idea how to bake. I don't even know how to bake a box cake. I don't even know what baking powder are used for. I don't even know what baking soda is. And isn't that crazy? Yes, it was really crazy. But then I was so determined. That I want to learn how to bake French macaroons. I knew that based on all the information that I've collected from Google at that time, and I watched some videos on YouTube as well, and of course, all the research were saying that macaroons is one of the hardest pastry to bake. And I was like, you know what, since I don't know how to bake anything, I should just focus on French macaroons. And if I can bake French macaroons, I can bake anything. So it was like a very, very hard challenge for me, but because I love challenges. I want to be able to master French macaroons. And I've been baking French macaroons for about 7, 8 years now, and trust me, it was not an easy process. You know, when I first started, I started baking for friends and family, and also for my girls, and I was like, oh, I guess this is not bad. But trust me, when I said it's not bad, that time my macaron was really bad. Trust me. And if you bake macarons for the first time or the first couple times, you know how it is. And as I start baking more, you know, friends and family are like, why don't you start baking macarons on the side? And I was like, hey, you know, it's not a bad idea. So that's how I started with my side business for macarons. And just so I can teach my girls how to make money. So at that time, you know, I have them help me with the dishes, just little small things. Just so, you know, they are actually putting in some work. So when they get paid, they know how hard it is to earn money. So it's also teach them a good lesson how to make your own money as well, and how it is to work for someone. So that's how we got started. And trust me, there are so many times where I make mistakes. And there are times where, when I first started, I didn't time my meringue. And oh my gosh, like I swear, I would just beat my meringue on like the highest speed on the KitchenAid stem mixer. I whip it so fast, and I always end up with a lot of air bubbles, and I just didn't understand why I was getting so many air bubbles, and I was so mad. I was like, how come all these YouTubers or videos that I watch, they barely have any air bubbles, any air pockets, and I just don't understand how that was even possible. So yes, I was it was quite a journey. I have purchased recipe online, I have purchased videos, and there are just a lot of things that didn't make sense to me. So as I bake, you know, throughout a lot of trial and errors, I start finding a lot of things that, a little bit back, going back to, let me step back to the meringue part. If you want to learn how to make perfect French meringue, I do have a video already. I will put the link down below. Take a look at that. Maybe that might help you. And that's how I make perfect meringue each time. So, you know, timing is really important. So take a look at my video down there. I will put the link down there. Take a look at that. That might help you. And yes, I just lost track. Where was I? Yeah, so it was through a lot of trial and errors. Trust me, it was not easy step, but I was like, baking, baking it's not hard. Or baking it's not hard, but macaron's hard. But like I said again, it's super challenging, and I said if I can make this work, everything else should be really easy. So that's why I stay with French macarons. And you know, there are times where I get wrinkly shells. There are times where I get super hollow shells. There are times where I have no feet. There are times where the feet just flares out like crazy. And, you know, with all these videos and recipes that I or that I purchase online, if you purchase the recipe or the video, you can't really ask questions because they don't provide continuous support. So that's why for my recipe, I try to do that with my students. And I find that it's really helpful, especially when you make a mistake and you want to ask someone, right? You have no one to ask, so you have no idea. You have no idea what you did wrong, and you just keep repeating the same mistakes over and over again, and it just doesn't seem like you have improved yourself at all, because you keep repeating the same mistakes over and over. So that's what exactly happened to me. So yes, it finally took me about 5 years, and at that time I thought it was really good, but you know, I was still like in the learning process. I was still making a lot of mistakes. I have a lot of bad batches, and of course, even though they're bad, of course, I don't throw them away. I still fill them in and save it, freeze it, save it for friends and family, because even though they're bad, they're still really good, right? So you don't want to waste it. And almond flour is super expensive. So I only sell the good ones, which it was such a struggle for me. It was such a struggle for me, but because macaron is so hard to master, that's why I did not give up, and I kept trying, kept pushing myself. And then finally, after 5 years, I finally got my recipe written down, and I finally nailed everything down. And I was like, oh my God, thank God. So now, I mean, you know, macaron is macarons. There are still times where you make mistakes, but then I at least know, like, you know, if I did something wrong, I know exactly what I did wrong. Or if my student sent me a picture of their macarons and they're like, hey Shane, what happened here? Can you tell me what happened here? I don't know what I did wrong. I'm able to look at it and be like, oh, this is what you did. Next time, try to do this and don't repeat that mistake again. So with me, you know, with me knowing like all the ins and outs of macarons, I mean, I may not know everything because it's such, you know, macaron, it's such a science, right? But I think I have collected enough information. I have gained enough knowledge throughout all my years and all the trials and errors. So I have come to a point where if I look at it, I know what's wrong with it, you know, and this comes with passion and patience. You have to be patient and if you're not patient about it, trust me, you will not get to where you are. And there have been a lot of times where I was like, gosh, why did I pick macarons? Macarons is so hard, you know. I want to give up so many times, but I keep telling myself, I already got this far. Why should I give up on macarons now? You know, if I was to give up on macarons, I should have never started, right? So that's why it keeps pushing me to this day, and I'm so glad that I never giving up on macarons. I know macarons can be very stressful and very draining, and there are times where you just want to give up because it doesn't matter. It seems like batch after batch, your macarons just don't turn out right? So, and those are the time where it discourages you. It doesn't motivate you to keep going. But when you have good batches, you're like, oh my gosh, it makes you really happy. And I still remember those days that I sit in front of my oven, looking at my tray in the oven to see if it's forming feet, to see if they crack or if they're, you know, rising up correctly. Oh my God, like, trust me, all those times do pay off. So just make sure if you have a passion for macarons like me, just keep going. Don't give up. It comes with, you know, years of experience, and also just, you know, remember, like in my video on my meringue, in my meringue video, like I said, use a timer. It's really important. It helps you to be more consistent, and you know, the most important thing is don't give up. Just don't give up. If you have a passion for it, just continue. You never know. I mean, like, it literally took me 5 years to finally understand macarons, to finally make all these beautiful macarons, you know. And who knew? I mean, maybe one day you may have the big macaron shop just because you have a passion for it. You continue to do it. You just never know. I mean, anything is possible as long as you put in your heart into something. As long as you don't give up easily, as long as you're passionate, anything is possible. The sky's the limit. So for all you macarons baker out there, don't give up. Don't give up. Just, you know, continue to bake. Whether, you know, one batch is not good, maybe the other batch might be good. and just kind of keep track of what you did wrong or what you need to work on. Or our brain is so small. I don't know about you guys, but I can't really remember a lot of things. What I find really helpful is taking down notes. I take down a lot of notes, because when I make an error, I will go back and look at my notes and be like, oh, I made this error, what is it? What is the thing that I need to avoid going forward? So that's how I keep improving myself. So taking notes is really important. Don't give up, and always remember that as long as you continue and you learn from your mistakes and don't repeat your mistakes, then you will be able to achieve it. And I will also be doing more videos to help you guys out, and hopefully one day I can help you guys to achieve the perfect macaron. Let me take that back. When I say perfect macaron, or when someone say perfect macaron, I don't think we can ever make the perfect macaron. It's all on preference. So to me, with my macarons, I think it's good enough for me. Maybe for you, no, your definition of the perfect macaron might be different from mine. Like all of us, we have different preference, right? But like I said, as long as you don't give up, you will get there. Even if you bake a tray and it's bad, it's okay. It's okay. Start everything over again. Maybe you're just having a bad day, or let's say if you bake multiple trays and they just don't seem to come out right, and you're so frustrated, right? Take a step back, breathe, let it go, and maybe save it for another day. Bake again. Trust me, you will get there. You will get there. It's not hard. Just make sure this is what you're passionate about. Don't give up. Just continue doing what you're doing. I know the macaron journey has been crazy for me. It's been crazy for me. Like I said earlier, there has been so many times that I wanted to give up on macarons, and guess what? I'm glad I didn't, and here I am. After only 7 to 8 years, I finally was able to master macarons. So take that. Maybe for some people it take them a lot sooner, but for me, oh my gosh, it took me years and years just to get to where I am today. So if you feel like, if you keep comparing yourself to other people, you will never be happy. Always remember that you should never compare yourself to other people. They have their own preference. You have your own preference, and their learning skills is different from yours. Their technique is different from yours. Don't compare yourself to other people. Always know that you is who you are. To me, I personally don't like to compare myself to other people, because I know that there are so many people out there that are doing so much better than I am. And I look at them and I look at them and see them as an inspiration. I don't look at them and compare myself to them, or I don't try to compete with them or anyone. You should only compete with yourself, and sometimes sit back and be like, oh, what do I need to do to better myself? What do I need to work on to better my macarons? Like I said again, make sure you take notes. Notes are going to be really, really helpful. So my best advice to you guys is to never give up. When you feel like giving up, always remember why you started. And macarons, it's not that it's impossible. It is very, very possible. But you just have to to be passionate about it and just keep working on your mistakes. Just keep improving yourself and you will get there. And hopefully with more videos that I will be working on will be helping you guys. And I know one of the biggest one, or one of the one of the biggest thing a lot of you have asked me is the macaron process. How do I fold my batter? Yes, I will be working on one of those videos for you guys so I can show you guys some tricks, or I can show you my way of how I fold my batter. So once I have more time in the next couple weeks, I will work on that video for you guys. If this video inspired you, make sure to give me a thumbs up down below if you have any questions, or if you want to hear anything about macarons, or if you have certain things or certain topic you want me to cover, make sure you leave it down below as well. And if you haven't already subscribed, please do so you don't miss out on any of my videos in the future. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching this video today, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!